Hey everybody, Chomsky here. And I'm imagining Frankie will be here shortly because my dog really enjoys hanging out with me. And whenever I talk, she likes to come in. Anyways, that's not why you're here. What I want to do, I mean, you're watching this video, so thank you. Uh, just want to talk about Theodosia, man. Um, Especially with Dark Forest coming out, like already out actually. Theodosia just takes a huge tier jump. Um, she was an S tier. Now I think she's an S plus tier or a plus S plus tier. Um, Totally bananas, totally bonkers. If you have her, you know how essential she is. She's quintessential. Like, no joke, just absolutely ridiculous. If you have her, congratulations, you've basically won Dark Forest. Or at least you have a chance to win Dark Forest with the whole randomizing thing, blah, blah, blah. But she is ridiculous. So, just want to talk about my build on her, and yeah, that's essentially it. Um, I have her in 6-piece protection, 3-piece pinpoint. She has decent stats. I mean, she's not exactly super fast. There's a lot of room for improvement. But for the accuracy, the resistance, the speed, and the HP with her, I'm super satisfied with her. I just really love her. you know, I have the Wand of Submission as a relic on her. Uh, there are times where I take her into live arena, but frankly, she's more PvE for me. Although, now that a lot of people are getting into our bias and live arena, I basically use Theodosia. So, okay, whatever. She's not even fully booked. Like, you know, it is what it is. Uh, Her A1 bananas. Like, she's healing everybody, so that's pretty solid, man. And then she's filling up turn meter. You know, what I could do with the heals and all that fun stuff is I could even put on a Journal of Necrotis. Um, it's pretty solid. I have it on our bias, so that could be a potential there. Um, having having her in first form is just huge, and you'll see. Uh, a perfect cleanse essentially removes all debuffs, then places a perfect veil. Puts a stone skin on her. So it's pretty neat. You could even build her out in maybe a provoke set if you want to get really nutty. I wouldn't, but that's only because I want her to be as tanky as I can and, just essentially cycle through. So this way she could basically remove everything or revive or heal. So, yeah, because she's reviving with 50/50 and an unkillable for 2 turns. Pretty solid. you know, and then she's equalizing all HP. So just bananas. There is that one boss level in Dark Forest that you are fighting against her, and I mean, just bring in heal reduction and you're fine. So that's pretty solid. This removes all debuffs. Kind of sucks, but whatever. You got time. It's okay. The flip side is basically just her going nutty against your speed, man. Uh, it's this is neat. I think she was one of the first ones to destroy target speed, and I'm scared. I am scared that there's gonna be more champs coming out that have this. So, yay! But these two next skills are just awesome. So basically, you're tossing out there a protected block buff and a protected decreased defense for 2 turns. Like, that's why you want to have her as fast as you can, so this way they are protected. And then she's also stealing all buffs from all enemies. So potentially you get a 50/50 on Stone Skin if you steal it. That's huge, man. Sustainability, awesome. And then she's placing a sleep and a decreased speed, so that's again potentially protected. Just make her go as fast as you can. And then she's also decreasing turn meters. So what is it? Marius is going to attack. Big whoop. Put her in Stone Skin, 2-piece Stone Skin, and then that really doesn't matter. She just takes it, and then what? Marius is going to hit again? Okay, I got Stone Skin. Yeah, does it wipe off? Sure, but they're slept. They have decreased speed. You just make sure that you got a good team to go behind her, and then she's immune to block active skills. And there's a damage boost. So really, really, really nuts. I have her in Lightning Cage, just because I want to protect as much as I can. Um, you know, like I don't have a 9-piece protection that works. So I I just have a 6 and 3. The wand may get bumped out, and then I have her potentially extending uh, you know, debuffs, the decreased speed and all that fun stuff. I do have timely intervention on her, just this way she could go a little bit faster just to revive, but I don't have her built for attack. Like I'm not using her for that. She's a reviver. She's an awesome support. Again, plus 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 S plus plus tier for support in all forms, man. Just really really solid. I will go into forest and where do, do, do. I did 275 and she came in so clutch for me. Uh, where do I go here? I got 23.3 and and there's definitely room over here. I used like Commodus on this treasure dude was almost instantaneous bombs. So there's definitely some manualing over there, but I just legit easy. Like getting the unkillable out there, reviving as necessary. I think that was just awesome. And I also had Lazurius here just in Form 1, just this way I could revive in a clutch, in a pinch. Um, Aphitis, I may want to take out in the future, but still solid. Uh, where am I? Global. I'm nowhere near up here. That is just nutty. This is going to be great. No joke. One of the reasons why I like Dark Forest so much is we get the randomization of teams, and basically like being like, "Yo, dude, work on it." And I think that's just nuts, and I love it. This is really what Curse City should have been, where we could build up a team, build up a deck, and then bring them in and seeing what havoc we could get into. The thing that I was kind of disappointed in, if we want to ratchet up the difficulty here, is that if one of our dudes dies, if we finish a level and one of our champions is dead that we couldn't pick up, we can't use that champion in a deck moving forward. And I think that would make this so much harder. Like we can only pick 8 champions, and if we have some of those that are dead, well, shit, keep going um, with the ones that are alive. But either way, I got derailed. This is more content for me to talk about on Twitch. But let's go back to Theodosia. Theodosia was just clutch here. I only used her first form here, and that was fine. Like, I'll just go through this. This one doesn't really matter too much. I could maybe just toss in the second form, but I didn't, so that's okay. And then we're going to get evaded sometime soon. I don't really need to hop to the second form since he tossed out there the decreased defense, so that's okay. Like this form, I actually really, really enjoy just because when Teox is in here, he just goes nuts. Like that's just a boatload of damage gone. So I'm for it. And I didn't do the counterattack because he doesn't we don't counter when he does that little burst. So that's fine. And I have him in a hex set, so that's why you're seeing hex come out. And only one debuff, but that's fine. I could do this, and I will, just this way the unkillable, you know, and that's great. And I have Lasurius. It didn't hit, which sucks. I don't necessarily want the increase attack and strength in there, but that's fine. Lasurius does have that, basically decreasing the buff right there. But what really comes into play here is Theodosia. Just having the ability to revive someone is is awesome. You know, uh, having the unkillable here also helps. Like just really clutch, just in case there's a cooldown here. Like, just you ping pong, and that's essentially what this is. We just ping pong, and then hopefully it turns into our favor, and we should. Like here, I'll do this, and then by the time Teox comes in, we should be able to get another hit here. And I apologize. I thought for whatever reason we don't get to counter when the gold flashes. So my bad. I'm wrong. Happens more often than not. But that's okay. That was kind of a weak hit there by Teox. What's really nice here is that we're guaranteed any debuff that we put out there. Like he doesn't have the chance to evade, and evade is just a really really cruddy uh, passive that he has, and Loki has it as well. It's just that going up against a boss with that, it just sucks. So I'm what is it? It's one out of it's 10%. You know, it happens, but I feel like it happens more often than not, like right there. But yeah, just trying to showcase that Theodosia is just really nutty, and I like this team. Uh, this is one that I'm kind of working on, and it's fine. You know, like we got the top chest, so I'm okay with it. Wherever it is, can't really see it here, huh? So it's all good. Like we don't necessarily need to get a ginormous amount, but it's cool just for bragging rights, especially in the clan of like, really, that's what you got. So I'm following along and seeing what other people do. But again, Theodosia, huge, awesome for basically any content. Here we go. So I got more than 20 million, and that's fine. Um, so just if you have her, you know that you're going to use her. You know, just build her up with a lot of speed. You know, I have her in a solid amount of accuracy, just if I'm going to be using the second form, like really good. First form, speed, and all that fun stuff. Here, this kind of fell off the rails, and it got into, hey, I need somebody to revive. So Sphurion or Theodosia coming back would be awesome. And just going through that and waiting for that passive to proc. Because Lasurius is awesome on that one. I just used that first form. It double. That sucked. And we get that. That's fine. Either way, Theodosia. Stone Skin. You could go shit. You could even go feral on her if you have a decent amount of feral. But I like the idea of the protected buffs on us. Um, just because the unkillable, like I want to protect that. Having the perfect veil is pretty sweet. You don't need that protected, but most definitely the unkillable. So I like that's the idea, and I would love to get 9 piece on her. Like this is my low speed one. I would love to get a triple speed. It's not there yet. Like a double speed on that, and it's only a flat HP. Like definitely could use a little work. Like this some speed glyph right there. Again, triple speed would be awesome. So either way, that's my Theodosia. Really a big fan, and I hope that you do too. I think she is like maybe one of my favorite uh, favorite designed champs that match a fantastic skill set. Like definitely, if we're gonna do a draft, I she would be up there for me. Um, I go heavy support more than damage, so she would be if we were to do a fantasy draft, she'd be my first round draft pick. But that's that's what I got. Anyways, hope you're doing well. Find me on Twitch, um, and deal with my ADHD over there. Twitch.com/Chomsky. Anyways, take care.